All right, so should be in notes number 5. It should look like this. It should say classification chart at the top. Yes. Well, either way. Whatever notes number it is, it should say classification chart at the top. Okay. All right. So, basically, this is an exact replica of what I've been drawing on the board as far as the divisions with domains and kingdoms and all the way down to phylum and things like that. So this is going to be your copy that we're going to fill out together. So we'll start with, the domain. Okay, I already gave you one, which is archaea. Which domain do you think should go here? Patty? Bacteria. Patty, why bacteria and not eukarya? Very good, because this domain has to be one of the ones that only has one kingdom beneath it. Very good. What is the kingdom that goes underneath domain bacteria? Bella?
Oh, wait, sorry.
The kingdom. Sorry? Yes, eubacteria. I know that box is a little small. These are right larger than that. That's fine. Okay. Which kingdom goes with domain archaea? Patty? Archaebacteria. Good. Okay. In the same color. And then which domain goes here? Reagan? Eukarya. Good. Or which is the Latin word for eukaryote. Okay. And this one has to go in this box. Why? Hannah? Very good. It's the only one that can be divided into 4 kingdoms. Okay. Now, before we go down into the kingdoms for eukarya, let's talk about the difference between this domain and these two. What separates this domain from the others? Caleb? They are mainly multicellular, but there's something else. Because this one's unicellular, so we can't say that's the main characteristic. What do all of these 4 have that these do not? Oh, no. Okay, Landon, help him out.
The eukarya has a different nucleus and organelles and membrane-bound structures.
Very good.
Archaea and bacteria, they don't have a different nucleus or
Very good. Okay? Has to do with their cell structure. So domain eukarya has a eukaryote cell. So above eukarya, I want you to draw a eukaryote cell, which is just a cell with a defined nucleus in the middle. Okay? Archaea and bacteria, on the other hand, are both composed of cells that are prokaryotic. So we're going to draw a cell. Still has all the DNA, but it's not wrapped up in the nucleus. It's just kind of free floating. Okay? That's the main difference. Those 2 domains and the kingdoms underneath it are prokaryotic, while this domain is eukaryotic. Okay? Now, what are the 4 kingdoms for domain eukarya? Ethan?
Plantae, Animalia, fungi, and protista.
Good. Plantae, Animalia, fungi, and protista. Ethan, which one's going to go in the first box?
Animalia.
Animalia. Good. Why?
Because it can be split into phylum and class.
Good. Now, technically, all the other kingdoms can be split up further as well, but for purposes of this unit, our notes are going to go into the classification for animals. Okay? If this were like a computer screen and we could click on each kingdom, you could click on each one of these and it would separate into further categories like this. But for the purpose of this unit, classification of animals, we're going to put Animalia in this box. Okay? Oh, I'll definitely switch it. So we have Animalia, Plantae, fungi, and Protista. All right. Now, as we go down, we're gonna list a little bit more about each of the kingdoms there. Okay. Nicholas, question?
The third kingdom is a fun guy.
He is a fun guy, isn't he?
Oh wow.
Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to label each of these kingdoms as either multicellular or unicellular. What does unicellular mean? If I know her. Reagan? Good. The entire organism is made completely of one cell. So, Reagan, what does multicellular mean? Very good. Okay. Now, which is more common, multicellular or unicellular? Raise your hand if you think unicellular is more common. Raise your hand if you think multicellular is more common. Very good. Multicellular is more common. Okay, so Animalia. Okay, we're in some sign language here. This is sign language for M, which we're going to use to symbolize multicellular. Okay, so you just put your thumb in between your third and fourth finger. Okay, that's an M. And then this is a U for unicellular. Not this, this is a V. This is a U. Okay, so M for multicellular, U for unicellular. Okay? All right. Animalia, give me an M if you think it's multicellular, or a U if you think it's unicellular. Good. It is multicellular, so we're going to put a little M in the top corner of the box. We're going to write a little M in the top corner. That way we know it's multicellular. What about Plantae? Give me an M for multicellular or a U for unicellular. Plant. Good. M for multicellular. Typically, plants are going to be multicellular. What about fungi? Give me an M for multicellular and a U for unicellular. Interesting. It is both.
Oh.
Both multicellular and unicellular. So, typically, fungi is multicellular. Okay? But there are a couple examples that are unicellular. So we have an M/U. Could be either one.
Moo.
And what about Protista? Hold them up. Multicellular or unicellular? Good. Unicellular is correct. What about archaebacteria? Multi or uni? Good. Unicellular is correct. And eubacteria, our last one. It looks like you're all volunteering as tribute. Yes, unicellular is correct.
I volunteered.
Yeah. Good. All right. Now, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to list examples underneath each of those categories. So, for Animalia, what was the example we put in the notes? Obviously, there are many examples for each kingdom, but specifically the one we had in the notes. Nathan? Lion. Good. A lion. What about Plantae? What was our example for that one? Kayla?
A rose.
Rose. Very good. Kayla, do you know my sister's name is Kayla? It's like I'm calling on her and we're calling me. Fungi. She's very smart. Very smart. Gavin.
I think
There were 3 of them.
I know mushrooms is one.
Mushrooms is one of them.
Oh, I I know another one.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeast.
Yeast. Remember the last one? This is what you probably get on your bread if it sits out for too long.
Oh,
Mold. Mushrooms, mold, and yeast. Now, protista, we gave 3 examples as well, but the names are kind of funky. Sophie, can you give me one? Paramecium. Good. How does the paramecium move? It's kind of a bonus review question. Parker?
Can I actually have
Another one? Yes.
so it can move it to
Good. Which cause it to do what?
They crawl.
There you go. Kind of crawls along. Another one?
And then there's also amoeba and
Amoeba. Oh, you gave me 2. Amoeba and euglena. All right. Somebody tell me, how does an amoeba move? Sophie?
ladder stuff.
Yes, projection. Okay, kind of like Spider-Man. It shoots out that body part, grabs on, and then scooches over. Okay? And then how does the euglena move? Nicholas?
Tail.
With the tail. The tail is called a what?
And also in this one.
The tail is called a what?
Yeah, it's a
What's with an F?
flagella.
Flagella. Good. That whips around.
I don't think you're missing one.
Which one?
An alien.
All right. Archaebacteria. Archaebacteria. What were the 2 examples for that kingdom? Remember, this is the one that lives in harsh environments. Hannah? Amoeba? Thank you. Does that help? Okay. What are the examples for archaebacteria live in harsh environments? Trinity? And? Good. Halophiles and thermophiles. What kind of environments do thermophiles live in? Nicholas?
So they live in hot and environments that cannot be lived by animals.
Good. Very hot environments. Hence the root therm. What about halophiles? Just a minute, please. Ethan?
They live in cold, so not cold areas.
What is the root hallow?
Salt.
Salt. Very salty environment. Okay. Question, Nicholas?
Yeah. So isn't something called extremophiles?
Extremophiles?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never heard of that. But maybe. And then eubacteria, Ethan? Okay, answer that first and you can ask your question. Yeah, there are 2 examples. One really hurt Chipotle.
Paramecium?
No, that's over here. Peptidoglycan?
Yeah.
That's the chemical that makes the cell walls. Remember the picture looked like little green Cheetos.
E. coli. Green algae.
Good. E. coli is what hurt Chipotle. That's one example. And then blue-green algae is the other. I know. And Ethan, what's your question?
All my people keep charging everywhere.
It's probably the pen you're using.
It's like I can barely read what the.
What do you need a new one, is what you're saying? Yeah. Yes, I'll get you a new one at snack break. Okay? All right. Then, you know what? We'll go ahead and do one more. Okay. From tomorrow, we're going to start looking at the different phyla. Okay? Hey. Oh. Excuse me. Okay, the different phyla for animals. Okay? Now, these are all the different phyla for invertebrate animals. There is only one phyla group for vertebrate animals. Okay? We're going to talk about that tomorrow, but right now, I want you to make two little brackets. We're going to put a bracket around this category, and we're going to put in parentheses the vertebrae. Okay? And then over here, we're going to put another big bracket around all of these and label this one the invertebrate. Okay? Each of the different invertebrate phyla have different names that we'll talk about in the next couple of days. But I just want you to know that this is where all the vertebrae go. All of these are different types of invertebrate or non-backbone animals. Okay? We'll get into the specific names for each of those either tomorrow or the day after that. Landon? I know. I told you, most of the animals are invertebrates. Kind of crazy. Reagan? Yes, go ahead. All right. So that's all we're going to finish up with today. Like I said, we'll continue working with this chart more later on. However,